Hello again, Internet. Welcome back. Hemingway Land, DOTCOM, your source, quality, affordable land. This is our preview, the weekly preview of all the properties, not just some, all the properties going live on the website for tomorrow, Friday, February the 4th, 2022. Before I get started on that, guys, do want to thank all the people who bought land from us this past week. I will tell you guys a little bit of a hokey poke week here at the North American offices of Hemingway Land. That said, we do sell a number of large dollar properties. Cameron and Kate bought some land from us out there in Saguache County, so thank you to them. Rin and Sheila bought some land from us in Valencia County. Thank you to them as well. Erica put down a deposit on one of our Angel Fire Resort properties. These Angel Fire Resort properties we listed back in August. I get, 100 inquiries about them a week. So we finally got a deposit on one of them. We will be closing with Erica through title and escrow sometime in the future. And Gary and Regina bought some land from us out there in Pershing County. We too will be closing with them through title and escrow sometime before the midterms, I assume. Anyway, with all that said, guys, as I said, bit of a slow week, so I have no stories. I have nothing to kvetch about, so I'm just going to lead off with the new properties. Going live on the website this week, guys, we are up in Elko County. Up here in the northeastern portion of Nevada, these are our first properties in Elko County. I will tell you guys that back in August of last year, we started purchasing a bunch of properties in this county, and most of them did not close escrow until like Thanksgiving and December. So now, in February and in March, we will be finally listing properties out here in this region. We've got some properties that are pretty remote. We've got some really large pieces of acreage. We've got some properties in little residential areas that are a little secluded. And then we've got properties like these, which are really right in the heart of Elko itself. All these properties are within the Last Chance Ranch subdivision. We're leading off with these specifically because of their proximity to Elko, really within the city limits. Anyway, these are between 2 and 5 acres, priced between $12,000 and $24,000, and as noted, they are all within Last Chance Ranch. Let's go to the map. So when we pull this up here, we can see that, hey, here's the town of Elko, here's Interstate 80 over here, and as we go to satellite view and zoom in, we can see the dense cluster of population out here. Of course, Elko is a town of roughly about 20,000. It's got a Walmart, it's got a Home Depot, so you know it's good stuff. And this, one of the properties, sits very close here to the Northeast Nevada Regional Hospital and Northeastern Nevada Museum over here. And, of course, just really right across the river from the casinos and the Walmart and the Home Depot and the Elko Regional Airport with flights to Salt Lake and Reno and Tahoe and Vegas, so on and so forth. Anyway, guys, so all these properties are within this Last Chance Ranch subdivision. I will quickly say this. The LCR, if you will. LCR is a rather large subdivision. Unit 1 is out here in the middle of nowhere. It's pretty much in Utah. Unit 2, not really, you get my point. Unit 2, guys, also pretty removed. Unit 3, which is where we bought all these properties, which are all going live this week, are in this region right here. Now, this, of course, is a rather large unit, and as you can kind of make out from the map, there's a big difference between land down here and land up here. I made a subdivision-specific video, of course, because I'm very lazy and don't want to do 3 specific videos. So I did a subdivision-specific video, which I try to cover as much of the broad brushstrokes of the subdivision as possible. That being said, we've got land down here in the kind of densely developed region. We've got land up here close to power at the base of the mountains. And then we've got land up in this region. Power nowhere close, but again, very picturesque really at the base of the mountain. So there's a big difference between these 3 properties. I'd encourage you, if you are interested, review the property-specific notes, review the photos. I'm going to have additional videos on those listing pages, so on and so forth. Whatever the case, guys, for the sake of this video, we'll lead off with this one, which is right here in the midst of this sort of dense cluster of development of home sites out here. Ooh, I know. Let's go to the photos. So as I said, the subdivision-specific video, I tried my best to sort of 30,000 feet broad brushstrokes kind of talk about this region. As you can imagine, with something this spread out, the road conditions differ depending on where you're at. The utility situation differs depending on where you're at. This property, however, has really good roads, guys. Check that out. As well as power at the lot line and underground utilities right out here. Blah, blah. Additionally, as you can see, it's within this developed region. A lot of home sites out here. I will tell you guys, the water research was inconclusive to me. All these properties sit Let me show you here, guys. All these properties sit very close to the Humboldt River, so I have to believe that the water table is fairly accessible out here. I couldn't find, per se, a city utility servicing this region. That being said, I can't believe that all of these people are using wells. So you can actually kind of see the river here in this shot. Well, that reminds me, guys, it should also be noted, this is such a well thought out, organized video. It should also be noted, guys, these properties are pretty close to the South Fork Reservoir over here. Elko County has a surprising amount of bodies of water to take advantage of. Ruby Lake, Franklin Lake, Wild Horse Reservoir, so on and so forth. Anyway, so yeah, so this property out here, overlooking the town, overlooking the Humboldt River, overlooking all these pretty nice home sites out here. You know, I will tell you guys that generally speaking, whenever I see land listed in Elko County, it's usually listed like, you could build a house, you could dirt bike, you could do whatever you want. I don't necessarily think that's the case. These are zoned here we go, R1. The zoning out here seems a little bit lax, but it does at least seem uniform in the fact that this is a residential subdivision, so not to be used necessarily for recreational purposes. It's not a camp indiscriminately or RV indiscriminately type of place. It's a, you know, come and build a home site type of place. So anyway, but pretty nice region and really within the heart of Elko itself. So I'd encourage you guys to check that out. Not one, not two, but 3 properties going live this week in that region. That's all for Nevada this week, guys. Do want to let you know that back in Colorado, this one didn't make it through escrow. We got LACO 1836 out in Rancho La Garita, 7 acres for $35,000, back on the market this week, guys. Of course, this one sits just northwest of the Trinidad Lake State Park, up here in Rancho La Garita. And of course, oh hey, here's some photos of the lake. Of course, the major draw, the major appeal of Rancho La Garita is that there is no HOA, no covenants, no restrictions, no annual dues, no time limits on building, nobody telling you, hey, you can't do that, hey, you must do this. Subject property sits about a half mile from power out here. As you can see, very well maintained dirt gravel roads in this region. Blah, blah, blah. This property actually has a kind of diverse mix of topography, if you will, some flat lands, some rocky areas, so on and so forth. And this is one of the properties that comes with an abandoned trailer on the land. Just an FYI. I'll let you guys review that on your own time. Just skip ahead in the photos here and just say that this is the outline of the property, the 7 acres that sits out here in this subdivision. And you can see some residential home sites built up around it. Of course, this is also a place where people come out, they camp, they RV for indiscriminate periods of time because they are in such close proximity to the lake. And of course, all the hunting out here in southern Colorado. Blah, blah, blah. Again, I'll let you guys take a look at that on your own time. Anyway, that's it for this week, guys. New properties going live next week in New Mexico, so check back then. And we will, by the way, next week have some small dollar properties. Of course, I know I've been listing a lot of things that are north of 10,000, north of 15,000 recently. We will have some more small dollar properties next week because I know that you guys are always looking for that. So with all that said, thanks as always for your attention spans, and we will see you in next week's videos. Thanks, guys.